Hey YouTubers, this is Kevin here, and today I'm going to be trying to take out all these nasty little grooves right here on the crank. As you can see, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, I'm kind of working on the budget here, so I'm trying to figure out a simple way to polish out these grooves on my own. As you can see here, this one looks pretty decent. I've already kind of started on this one, but I'll go ahead and start with this one here. This one, the first one I started with, didn't have very much as it was, but as you can tell, there's not very much left on it except for that little groove right there. That one's more like a, I would say, a discoloration and temperature, whatever was grinding there was hitting pretty hard and got it hot. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one since I already have some of my materials already cut out for this one. So pretty much what I'm using is some 400 grit sandpaper, followed by an 800 grit, which I don't have a package for, but I already have a strip cut out, which is right there. And I also have this 1000 grit, followed by some metal polishing cream, which I'm going to use at the end. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get set up here and then kind of give a little explanation of how I go about this. Alright, so pretty much what you want to do is you want to cut yourself a strip of the 400 grit sandpaper to start, and make sure it's about the width of the section of crank you're going to be buffing right there. So there you go. It's pretty much perfect, and it has enough for an overlap. Now what you want to do is go ahead and spray this down some WD-40, as well as the piece of sandpaper you're going to be working with. This is a wet dry sandpaper, by the way. Go ahead and wrap it around part of the crank that you're going to be working on. And then you need one of those wide, flat shoelaces, something with a little more surface area. If you have something wider than this, I'm sure it'd probably be better, but this is what I had on hand, so this is what I'm using. So you're pretty much going to wrap it around, making sure you try to keep it flat. Like so. And simple enough fashion, just rotate back and forth, just like so. Keep doing this for a while and take a look at it. Occasionally apply some WD-40. I'm going to get on this. I'll probably fast forward through the video so you don't have to watch me do this for however long. Alright, this last one that I did pretty much had some sandpaper, and I put a little bit of the 400 grit sandpaper with some valve grinding compound, and as you can see, it took away quite a bit of the high spots pretty quick. Flushed it out. As you see on the shiny, those are some of the low war spots, so I gotta probably give it another run or so, and that should probably be enough with the 400. Probably switch to the 8 and the 1000 and polish it. Alright, let's carry on. Alright, so pretty much after you go through all your grits of sandpaper and any kind of buffing compound that you may use, I like to finish it up with a polish. So I went through my 400 grit with the valve grinding compound just to help take it down a lot faster. Then I did a straight 400 grit, 800 and 1000 depending on if the area needed that 800. And now I'm pretty much finishing it up with a nice little polish. And I just got some metal polishing cream. And this seems to be giving it that nice mirror finish. And all I did was cut a piece of microfiber cloth. And it was a little wider, but I've been pulling on it, so it kind of narrowed up a little bit. Put your polish cream on there. Go ahead and just pretty much move her back and forth. Work it in there pretty good. I've already done about half the crank. I finally remembered to turn on the camera. I just do the half at a time pretty much. Try to, if you can, just cross them over, just try to get an overlap. I want to try to polish them up just to make sure that the bearings glide right over the crank. Just to make sure it has the least amount of resistance as possible. Alright. That's pretty much it. That's all you gotta do.